To me, you're inviting me into this story. Already I'm connecting some dots. This is your home?
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit of a couple other things you mentioned last we spoke. How does Just Help Africa, and maybe give a brief description of what Just Help Africa is, and Munyao.Art,
Yeah.
how does that fit into the mission of consuming carbon, and how do they enhance its impact?
Yeah. So in the climate sustainability space, especially in legislature, there's a requirement, for example, in the Kenya law, if you're in the carbon markets, whatever you receive in terms of payment from the carbon markets, 25% of it has to go back to the community. So how do you prove that, right? Other than, building schools and doing all that, people can play around that number. But my friend Tunji, my friend Eze, who are both from Nigeria that live in Charlottesville, where we are right now, and we started Just Help Africa in May of 2022. And the goal of Just Help Africa was to just help, specifically in education and clean water. So Bikini Girls High School, we just completed building their lab last year, right? From donations that are coming from Charlottesville. So Just Help Africa is a 501c3 that's based out of Charlottesville that's currently doing work in sub-Saharan Africa focused on Kenya and Nigeria. So we're doing school and education in Kenya, and in Nigeria, we're building wells. So we have built 2 wells so far. Each well is providing clean water to people who've never seen clean water before. So they have access to clean water now, and these communities are anywhere between 7,000 to 10,000 people per. In Nigeria right now, Just Help Africa is also renovating. We just broke ground this week on a school of 600 students that has only 2 classrooms, and the rest of the classrooms are completely degraded, like trees growing through the floors and no roofs, no windows, nothing. So we are renovating that school, and by the time we go launch it in August, it will be completed. All classrooms. So we are renovating 7 different buildings, building a toilet, building an administrative block, everything. So that's just Help Africa. That is part of my passion. So like my ethos is, art, fun, and philanthropy. And then, you can throw in the farmer and everything else that comes with consuming carbon. But in the philanthropy, that's where Just Help Africa shines. So we raise our money in the States, and then we do the work in Africa, and then we show photos, videos, thank you dinners, and everything to the people who are helping us on the impact that we are creating. So far we've impacted well over 22,000 people in sub-Saharan Africa. Then Munyao.Art touches on my gift from the powers that be, which is art. I can paint, but I paint out of the nothingness we talked about earlier. Like I have these dreams of different things, and I can see different forms, and when I get on a canvas, I just go with it. So for example, right now I'm working on a painting that's about, call it 5'5" by 3 feet, right? And the middle of this painting is a Porsche 911 Targa 4 GTS, right? So this is the car that I plan on having. And once I get this car, I'll drive it to its last day, which is my last day. So that painting right now, even though it's in its infancy, is going to transform in a way that I cannot explain to you right now. But when you see it, you'll never forget it. So I have over 80 pieces that are pretty large paintings that I've been working on under Munyao.Art. And you can find them on Munyao.Art. And whenever I find time, I blog about them. I tell stories about them. I do that on YouTube too with my son. We tell stories. We have an organization called Iced Cacti, which is essentially my son's concept of us telling the stories of my art. So he and I work together, and we do it on YouTube. We are going to do more content, but it tells that ethos again. My son and I kind of built this ethos because we both believe in it, and we love it. We love being in that space. He's not a creator of art, but he's a charismatic young man who's very passionate about life. And I want to continue helping him find his calling or his joy or whatever drives his daily moments through a lot of these things that we're collaborating on today.
You got me with the arts, and good on you to take that and use the gift that you've been given to remember, and to remember those dreams that you're having. For me, it's writing music. I've written maybe 300 to 400 songs since COVID, and again, it's just this thing that, hey, if you find something that's helpful or something that moves you, something that makes you feel alive, to return and remember that thing. Yes. Otherwise, wow, what a miss.
Yeah.
When you learn a lesson, but then you find yourself continuing to have to learn the same one. Many different reasons for it. That's cool.
Something that I encourage others to do. The one thing that occurred to me is in high school, one teacher told me that I was not an artist. Like I should just give up art and just focus on like architecture or something that is more kind of defined with a career. And I knew my calling was art, but then I gave up art at that point. And not up until 2018 did I go back to do a painting on the wall of my garage that I realized that I'm not too bad at this thing. And then COVID happened. So from 2018, then COVID gave me this opening of starting to paint. So if you feel that calling that is calling you the same way you found your music, right? And you don't go for it right there, you're missing an opportunity every single time you think about it. So when you think about it, just do it. Just start. And everything else will come together. Just start, and that's like the hardest thing. In business even. The hardest thing in business is just starting.